Hello there. I want to discuss with you, some general topics on poker while I play two tournaments. So I believe like a lot of great players in poker just try to force the opponent on difficult decision. Think about it, like when you go play your live session game. What is your main focus? Are you like looking at the players, or what exactly is the strength or edge in your game? Do you think about like putting yourself in situations where it will be difficult for your opponents? Uh, Hopefully, like some such situation will come, and I would be able to show you what exactly I mean. But like if you just focus on putting opponents in difficult situation, uh, it will completely change your game. For example, you will stop limping and trying to chase draws. But of course, that's not universally true. It makes sense to chase some draws in some situations. But then three betting, four betting, these are just ways of putting opponents on difficult decisions. I joined both these tournaments as late registration. I thought, okay, let me just uh, take a shot at these, although I do not recommend that you buy in late for the tournaments. And I believe like at some point you will play the tournament, so I thought let me also make a brief video of this while I give you some general tips on poker. In tournaments, it is best like if you survive, if you stay average and above average in the entire tournament. That way you have the most chances to survive to the final table. uh, so like think about like in your average games how you could put others in. For example, if I bet here strong, it's putting him on a difficult decision whether he could call or fold. But then if he calls with nothing again, that is putting us on a difficult. Okay, let's just check here. Okay, so a tournament versus cash game, the difference is, the blinds keep on increasing. When you sit for a cash game, the blinds are going to remain the same, and the blinds keep on increasing, and you cannot drop onto your stack only if you can either win, lose. If you lose all the chips, you're out of the tournament. So you can play marginal hands. You will play a lot more aggressively when you have a short stack. You will try to steal the blinds when the blinds are significant compared to your stack. And I believe every cash game player should take a shot at tournaments, and that is going to give him a very good idea as to what he's best suited for, whether he's suited for the tournaments or he's suited for cash games. Players like specialize in something like just tournaments or cash games, or just sit and goes. So So basically that's the thing. And I also believe, when you watch others play, you can think it gives you a very good idea as to, how the other person is playing, what is his, playing model. And he just called it 4-7. I don't know how. The flop bet. Let's just review this. So maybe he was able to, read that we did not have anything. So yeah, so that, a lot of players, are just trying to read you completely. They are completely focused, uh, and they are just reading you completely, watching every timing tell, and that's both in live game as well as online. And they players like really know like what you're doing, what you're up to. After observing you for 1-2 hours, they will exactly know like what you think about the game, and then they would start exploiting it and putting you on difficult decisions. So I believe taking a stab here is justified. There has been no flop aggression by anyone. I don't expect anyone, to have a 10 in his hand. Of course, 7-8 could be there, but yeah, we take the initiative and we win. And I believe like later on, I will add some other training series for tournaments, especially because I have created a lot of material for tournaments player as well, covering a lot of WSOP tournaments, other high roller tournaments, and I created quite a few courses, for players, and they sold off well actually on Amazon and other retailers. They were selling in 5 figures. So I can always, make a small call here. I have position on him, and then later, I can take advantage uh, that he's, out of position. So I don't know what he's doing. I don't put him on 10. Yeah, of course, but maybe he has 10 queen or something, but I have a 10. So let's just make the call and hope to give him the pot. Yeah, okay. So yeah, he was quite strong. He had the nut flush draw, and he turned two pair. And but yeah, I predicted right. I felt right that he does not have the nuts on the turn, and that's what confused me. So, okay. Eight queen, and this pair is so tight, that if he re-raise here, he is definitely going to fold. see, of course, like if he, had called, then we would have put him on a. If he had called or raised, then we were quite dead in that situation. But I'm just making these fancy plays so that like you can see like what all moves are possible. And generally, like I have seen players to play extremely tight, not experimenting, plays like these. So, so here, like we are quite short now. See, we are 192nd position out of 200, is like literally just at the bottom. But in PLO, like I believe I can make it back up very quickly as I have quite a lot of experience in this game. And even if like we lose it, then I'm okay with it. So this is a mandatory fold. And nine player PLO is actually very boring because most of the time people are going to raise with very nutty hands, and generally like for cash games, people don't play nine-handed, like they like six-handed because of action. In six-handed games of PLO, you can't get away with just folding and waiting for premium hands. You have to expand your range, and that means getting much more into the hands. Yeah, so pocket aces versus what we have versus, okay, flush draw. So with ace 10 offsuit, like I would there's no point in raising. Other person calls, a big pot is created, and you are out of anyway you are out of position. If the other person hits a set, then and there is an ace on the board, you some like amateurs will go overboard, and they may lose a big pot. So okay, so here's a flush draw, and okay, so who has raised? Okay, so he has gone all in actually, and they have called, and now I believe the best place to go all in ourselves, because I don't expect any of them, to have much of a hand, and that's surprising. Okay, with just Jack Queen, he went all in. Okay, so we win a big pot. Here, I believe like we are good. By good, I mean I don't I expect them. Okay, so the flush draw also has completed, and he takes a small stab, and sometimes players will make deceptive looking bets because he called a strong flop bet. I believe him to be having something like a nut flush, and let's see what he has. Okay, so he has the nut flush, and what he had actually is king. Okay. So we are good, doing like good on this table, but like you have to remember that early success doesn't mean that you are going to last till the final table. And now I have to take, I have to put some pressure, get heads up, and then maybe flop the best hand and win. Otherwise I'm I'm just out. So I'm going to save this 790 chips and hope to, get it in with the winning hand again. Like a lot of like training videos and books, will say that okay, you are half in, just put all the chips in. And I don't think that's the right play, because if you know that you have already lost, then there is no point in losing whatever is remaining also. Okay, so we are just second from the last position. That's quite bad actually. So let me share with you some tips. Like for tournaments, you have to focus what your M ratio is, and you can compute it uh, by dividing your stack with sum of this ante and these blinds, like 150 about 240 divided by 240, you will get the M ratio. That comes to what? 240 10. So I have an M ratio of over 20 here, so I'm quite in the green and safe range. And here my M ratio is what? 160 plus 80, 220, and I think my M ratio is just 3 or 4, I believe. 3 maybe? 3. So here we are actually almost dead, because the blinds have risen so much that anybody can make an easy call. And so that way, like I have to go all in now with a very very nutty hand, like some double suited hand, because I can't wait too much also. And poker is a lot about patience. You have to have a lot of patience, and just sit on the table, keep on folding, keep on waiting for opportunity, because if you go overboard, then you are losing money. And it's entirely a game about patience and waiting for the right opportunity. And for PLO, you can also refer like Hutchinson system, and it's an extremely winning system for pot limit Omaha, both PLO high and PLO high low. So now any double suited hand I get, I would try to get it in now. Okay, so we get jacks, and even in cash game, let me tell you, jacks are a very high variance hand, and you don't want to go overboard with this kind of hand, because you don't know like flop will bring what. Does it bring any uh, ace king queen on the board, and plus you don't know like what the other person has. And now we can take advantage, because uh, our range is capped, and he would not put us on something like jacks queens. Okay. Okay, I believe I will call it quits here, and I hope you learned something out of this session.